Stars come in different forms and background. For one Phil-Am nurse turned runway model, a dark and devastating illness made her even more determined to shine. Young Chavez has tonight's Balitang Showbiz.
Last September, Phil-Am Karen Crespo, a registered nurse, received a standing ovation when she walked the runway at the New York Fashion Week during Carrie Hammer's show. The American designer includes people with disability, role models, rather than runway models in her fashion shows. It was an impossible dream come true for Crespo, who lost both her legs and arms almost 3 years ago. Her performance at Fashion Week grabbed headlines. Currently, she's with a talent agency that's working to bring her to Europe for other fashion shows. But there was a time when Crespo was so depressed about the changes in her appearance that for months, she did not want to see anyone aside from family. On December 9, 2011, the formerly active and fun-loving 31-year-old's medical nightmare began.
I was at home and I thought I had the flu, and all of a sudden I couldn't breathe anymore. And then I called my mom. She lives in West Covina, and she picked me up and she took me to the hospital. And by the time I got to the ER, I couldn't feel my legs anymore.
Karen, who was working as a nurse at the time, had a blood infection. It was the deadly bacterial meningitis.
You get it through saliva. So you could share food or drinks with someone can cough or sneeze, and then you inhale it through your nose, and then it spreads through your bloodstream.
Within 24 hours of getting flu-like symptoms, she developed a blood clot in her brain and had multiple organ failure. In the hospital, she underwent surgeries and did not wake up for 15 days. Given only 10% chance to survive, doctors had to amputate both her arms and legs. Karen stayed in the hospital for 5 months, undergoing more than 25 surgeries.
After the 5 months, that's when I realized how different my life was going to be. Not, having my arms and legs, that everything was not the same anymore, and it's never going to be the same.
Being released from the hospital and out into the real world was just the start of her new reality. When Karen Crespo reached out to fashion designer Carrie Hammer to thank her for using people with disabilities as models, Karen did not expect that Carrie will put her on the show.
I didn't want to trip. When I saw the platform, it was high and narrow, so I'm scared. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is for me to walk with my prosthetic legs. But once I got out there and everyone was smiling, cheering, clapping for me, then I was like, okay, I'm in my own element. I can do this.
On stage, she carried herself with confidence, a far cry from her status 3 years ago when she was severely depressed.
I think the emotional part is a lot worse than the physical, especially being a girl. I was 28 at the time, single. Of course, you don't want your body to look different, to change.
On being a model, Karen says she hopes to inspire others to see that beauty and confidence can come in many forms. She and her family have enormous medical bills, so Karen's friends have tried to raise funds for her through the Caring for Karen website. As a nurse, Karen has always been the one dedicated to serve others. But after her near-death bout with bacterial meningitis and having her arms and legs amputated, she had to rely on her mother to care for her. She suffered another setback when her state-of-the-art prosthetic arms, costing over $80,000, were stolen. But Karen says she's thankful that many have also reached out and helped her. That's why she's giving back and educating people about meningitis and the need for vaccination.
What do you want people to think when they see you?
Definitely not a quadruple amputee. I don't want my disability to define me. So I just want people to know me for who I really am, which is a strong, positive person who, looks at life and is very proactive.
Karen was also featured in Raw Beauty Talks, a website that celebrates women's confidence in their unique beauty. Karen is hoping to one day return to her job as a nurse, and she also wishes to be a motivational speaker in order to help others. Young Chavez, ABS-CBN News, Los Angeles, California.